Yorkers who I have mourned alongside, marched alongside, and vowed to improve McGuinness Blvd. I am grateful to the elected officials who have carried this effort forward.
They're the best.
Yeah.
I am especially thankful to the community members who have never given up on the hope that a people, united and organized, can both demand and deliver the change that they know is necessary. My friends, because of you, we will complete the redesign of McGuinness Blvd. Before we speak of what the future will hold, I want to speak of the past that we all endured to arrive at this day. As trucks and cars fly by at high speed, I am reminded of the words of the man who thought a 4-lane highway was worth destroying homes, displacing residents, and scarring this neighborhood. Robert Moses said, if you operate in an overbuilt metropolis, you have to hack your way with a meat axe. There are few places in this city where that axe was sharper, or where the hacking left such deep injury. Since 3-year-old Jimmy Battaglia died here in 1956, the first casualty of McGuinness, some estimates say that more than 200 New Yorkers have been killed on this asphalt. To this day, countless Greenpointers still mourn Matthew Jensen, who we will mark 5 years without in May. The students he taught, the parents who adored him, the community that cherished him. I want to recognize his cousin John, who is here today, who was at the very first Make McGuinness Safe rally and has helped this community take its pain and turn it into purpose. Thank you. The consequences of Moses' acts have been measured in the human tolls that this 4-way highway has incurred, and in so many other unseen but deeply insidious ways. It is felt when parents don't feel safe letting their children out of the house to play. It is felt when cyclists go on long detours because McGuinness is simply too dangerous to take the risk. It is felt when people dread going to the grocery store or getting a cup of coffee or just going on an afternoon walk because they fear that they will have to cross the street. For too long, those in power have ignored Greenpointers' calls for help. As a result, what was understood solely as a road became something much larger, an embodiment of political choices, a physical piece of evidence of city government that listened to the well-connected at the expense of working people. But thanks to parents, neighbors, and Assembly Member Emily Gallagher, the city committed to a redesign of McGuinness Blvd. That commitment promised to deliver the safety and improvements that residents had been asking for, until the prior administration bowed to big money interests, leaving the project incomplete and Greenpointers still at risk. Today, however, there is a new mayor in City Hall. I am so proud to have stood with this community, and I am even prouder to be able to use the power of City Hall to deliver a better, safer future for the people of Greenpoint. My Commissioner Mike Flynn will lead the DOT in installing parking protected bike lanes along the length of the entirety of McGuinness Blvd. Pulaski Bridge. Once the project has been completed, there will be one travel lane in each direction, one parking protected bike lane in each direction, and one vehicular parking and loading lane in each direction. We will begin this process as soon as the weather warms. Many of the materials required for this kind of work cannot be used when the ground is wet or when temperatures are below 40 degrees. And while this is just the beginning of our work to deliver street safety across this city for pedestrians, for cyclists, and every person who calls the city home, I want to remind New Yorkers that none of this was inevitable. A little over 4 months ago, I stood with many of the same people I see today after walking up McGuinness. I stood with this very pin that was given to me by those New Yorkers. Many had known Matthew Jensen. Many had dedicated years to asking for change, for attention, for empathy from politicians who couldn't even bother to care. Standing together on that hot August day, we felt like we were on the cusp of real improvement, of actually achieving what we had set out to do. Thanks to so many who went out and pounded the pavement, that pavement now will change. Today is nothing else. It is a celebration of a city created by all who live in it. Thank you all very much, and please welcome Bronwyn Breitner. You got it.
Go, BB.
So much. My name is Bronwyn Breitner. I'm a 21-year resident of North Brooklyn, a local small business owner, and my husband and I have chosen to raise our 2 boys here in Greenpoint. When my son Kai was 2 years old, his brand new red bicycle was stolen from in front of our house. We posted flyers on the poles around our block in hopes that our neighbors would help us in our search to find it. And guess what? They did. When my son Kai was 9 years old, his teacher Matt Jensen was killed crossing McGuinness Blvd on foot 1 block from our home. And after decades of serious injuries and deaths on McGuinness Blvd, after a decade of holding Kai and Ellery's hands tighter when I crossed that street, we asked our neighbors for help again. We asked them to support a movement to ask the city for a comprehensive redesign of McGuinness Blvd that would last forever. And they did again.
Yeah.
With the support of Lincoln and Emily and Kristen and Antonio and Julia and Nydia and thousands of neighbors and 100 local businesses and community organizations, we fought for 5 years and we won a plan from the DOT in 2023 when Kai was 9. The DOT committed to transform this boulevard into a safe and livable street for Greenpoint. But that same year, the Adams administration killed the plan. And Kai learned firsthand what corruption looks like. But today is Kai's 14th birthday. And today we celebrate a new era for McGuinness Blvd. We celebrate a new era for Greenpoint. We celebrate a new era with a mayor in power who teaches our students and our children what true, honest leadership that centers the community, livability, and affordability of New York City in his campaign. We are so grateful to you, Mayor Mamdani, for making this a priority in your campaign, for keeping your promise that you made to our community many months ago. And we are so thrilled to partner with you on this today and in the work that this involves in the future. Thank you so much.
Now our DOT Commissioner, Mike Flynn.
DOT! Woo! Thank you, Mayor Mamdani, and I would echo gratitude to all the advocates and elected officials for keeping this project on the front burner over all those years. It is a new era for New York City and a new era for New York City DOT. We said we would hit the ground running, and that's exactly why we're at McGuinness Blvd on just the third day of this new administration. For far too long, a critical street safety redesign developed by committed public servants at DOT was set aside, even though the need was clear and the planning work was done. As soon as the weather warms, we'll deliver the original safety plan for McGuinness Blvd, as the mayor said, installing parking protected bike lanes from Meeker Avenue all the way to the Pulaski Bridge. McGuinness Blvd should stitch Greenpoint together, not divide it in half. These upgrades will make it safer and easier for children and parents to cross the street. They'll protect cyclists, reduce reckless driving, and transform what can feel like a highway into a calmer neighborhood street. And this is just the beginning. DOT will advance bold, ambitious ideas to keep New Yorkers safe on streets across the city. Let's get to work.
First, I would like to ask Cousin John Ogren to come on up to the front.
Hey, John!
I am Assemblymember Emily Gallagher. And I'm so proud that I get to serve this community that raised me as an activist, and that I get to have an amazing mayor serve with me in creating an even more amazing community going forward. I became passionate about politics because I was passionate about this community. And I learned that we so often face infrastructure and face decisions that feel as if they were created by God. Feel as if we cannot actually change anything, but the reality is that everything can be changed. And that we have for decades been trapped in a system that prioritized wealth and personal gain over community and a vision of the future. And I am so proud of Mayor Mamdani because he is really talking about a new era, and that is what we have been hungering for in government and politics. We have so many ideas around the world that work, that create safety, create community, create stability for everyone. And street design is one of those very creative fields that has been kneecapped by inflexible and uncreative politicians at the helm. And I am thrilled that we now have a mayor who is excited about being creative, about listening, and about connecting with each and every one of us. Because he knows, and I know, that this city is not its streets and its buildings. It is the people who live within it. And unlike the politics of the past, which thinks that the people are replaceable, and the neighborhoods and the wealth and the land value are not, we know that it is the opposite. We can actually build a sustainable, beautiful city that serves each and every one of us, that creates a stability so that we can be together here. We can walk hand in hand down the road. We can hang out on the corner. We can ride our bikes together. We can teach our children to ride bikes with us. And we can do that together here in this city. We don't have to leave the city to have wonderful community. Community is born in New York, and it will stay here because we have Mayor Mamdani. Every single one of these campaigns, who knocked doors to get people elected, who stood in the center of town handing out flyers about ideas that you had, like a redesigned McGuinness Blvd that you believed in, and you knew that it was actually people to people that made the difference, not donor to donor. And at the end of the day, it is you all that I am here for. And it is you all that I believe in. each other and we stay involved in this kind of connectivity, we will lead the way in the world. A world that is full of wonderful ideas ready for the taking. So thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you. By my side through so many decades of work on this, and I'm so excited that there are people here who I worked on this with in 2010, in 2020, and now in 2026, and all of the people who have lost people to this selfish view of what a street can be and what a street is for. Streets are for people. We are the people who will shape and define them in the years to come. So thank you, and thank you everyone. And now I'm going to pass it to one of my dearest friends, a lifelong advocate himself, Councilmember Lincoln Ressler.
My cousin Maddie would be standing right here with you. And I really believe that Maddie's up here with the choir.
Yes.
So God bless you. I'm so proud that you're my baby.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cousin John. And can we give it up one more time for our amazing Assembly member, Emily? Greenpoint, we freaking did it! Look, over these last few years, across the 5 boroughs, McGuinness Boulevard had become synonymous with a city hall that put politics over people, that put corporate donors over our community, that put Hulu's special guest appearances over our damn safety. But Greenpoint, we organized like hell. We got 10,000 neighbors to sign on to our petition to demand that McGuinness finally become safe. Every single elected official had this community's back. Antonio, our borough president, Nydia, our congresswoman, Kristen, our state senator, and Emily Gallagher, for more years than I can count, has been fighting for a safe McGuinness Boulevard. And when we implemented a fraction of the plan, the opposition told us that it would be that the apocalypse would arrive. That's what they said. But you know, traffic on McGuinness Boulevard has gone up about a minute in each direction. That traffic volumes across the neighborhood have only increased in the most modest of ways. Our neighborhood is demonstrably safer already because of the changes that we have secured on McGuinness Boulevard. But McGuinness Boulevard will finally be safe from the Pulaski Bridge down to Meeker because of the leadership of Mayor Zohran Mamdani. The first candidate for mayor to sign the pledge to make McGuinness safe. He showed up here in the general election to stand with all of us to say this was a priority, and in week 1 of this administration, Zohran Mamdani is making McGuinness safe. And this is just the beginning. Because the safety improvements that we're going to see here on McGuinness Boulevard are going to be happening in every single neighborhood across the board. We are finally going to make our streets safe for all of us because we have a mayor who finally has our back. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you to every single person who is here today and who has organized over these last few years to make McGuinness safe. It's because of you. Because of the ways that you showed up at City Hall, that you showed up at the town hall meetings, that you showed up at the community boards, that you gathered petition signatures in the freezing cold at farmers markets and on street corners. It's because of your hard work that McGuinness became the street safety project across the city of New York. And it's because of your hard work that Zohran's getting it done. Week 1, let's make it happen. We coming.
Hi, Greenpoint. How are we feeling today? It is such an honor to be here with all of you. My name is Kristen Gonzalez, and I am the state senator that represents this area. I want to start looking at events. Thank you to every single organizer McCarthy, Assemblymember Gallagher, and Councilmember Ressler for their years of tireless work alongside our Borough President, Antonio Reynoso, and our Congresswoman as well. And of course, I want to give a sincere and heartfelt thank you to our new mayor, Zohran Mamdani, for making I think the story of McGuinness Boulevard matters to every single person in this city because it shows and has represented some of the best of us and some of what the best of what this city has to offer against the worst that sometimes this city has to offer. On one side, we had a coalition of everyday New Yorkers who dared to dream bigger for this boulevard, who dared to go up against establishments to demand better. We had elected officials who were ready to stand alongside them. We had years of research and data that showed that a road diet and a redesign would save lives. And on the other side, we had corrupt administrations. We had bribes given and taken. We had businesses more interested in putting their profit before the safety of all of us. Today, we have proven that David can beat Goliath. Today, we have proven for every single New Yorker that when we organize, we can win bigger and better for all of us. Today, this is a new era for our city, a new era for Greenpoint. But there is still so much work ahead. I know there will be capital improvements that will not only see the full redesign and road diet, but really be invested in this boulevard for all this community has imagined. And I know and I am confident that now that we have won here, as someone who represents 3 boroughs, and who in 2022, when I ran for office, McGuinness was the first issue we talked about, that this will be the model for the rest of this city. So thank you again for being here. Thank you to every New Yorker for tuning in. And thank you to our incredible mayor, Zohran Mamdani.
Good afternoon. My name is Antonio Reynoso, and I'm the president of one of the 2 greatest boroughs in the city of New York. Thank you. I have to say that because Zohran's from Queens. I want to keep this short. I just want to say thank you, and that we never have to say thank you again. Because we shouldn't have to fight this hard for practical things like this. It is unbelievable that this amount of organizing, that every single elected official outside of the mayor in that time supported this project, and it still can't get through. And you get 5 angry people in some faraway portion of an outer borough fighting for parking, and it always happens. And in this case, this massing doesn't make a difference. But now we have Mayor Zohran Mamdani. And that's what makes the difference. Is an elected official that understands that people over politics is what matters. People like Emily Gallagher, all these resources, all this time that she had to expend to get something that is so practical done is unnecessary. This will be the last time. And I say this to Emily because, Emily, we need you doing other work now. Emily, I want to say, I like to quote famous poets from great boroughs, and this one is going to be a little different because this is Emily's baby, and there's a great poet by the name of Nas that says, "If I rule the world, imagine that I free all my sons and love them, baby." And McGuinness is getting the love today.
And I'm the co-chair of Families for Citizens of New York. And as a mother who lost my son, I'm deeply grateful to see Mayor Mamdani announce his intention to complete the full redesign of McGuinness when the original plan was watered down in 2023 overplayed to play politics. So many people, like beloved PS110 teacher Matthew Johnson, have lost their lives on this dangerous speedway. For years, Families for Safe Streets has stood with the Greenpoint community, demanding more, and we're so glad McGuinness is finally going to get the food safety redesign it sorely needs. McGuinness today, stealth projects across the 5 boroughs tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Just before we begin questions, I would like to invite everyone who has lost a loved one to please join me.
I love you, Zohran!
I want to make clear to New Yorkers that we are not speaking in the abstract. We are speaking about New Yorkers whose lives have been torn apart by inaction for far too long. And the New Yorkers you see alongside me are those who have lost the very people that they built their lives around. And sometimes you may not even know those in your life have been affected by this. This is a photo I was just given. Me in high school, standing alongside a friend, the leader of our then soccer team, Asher Kelly Knox. It was given to me by his mother, who is here with us. I did not know then what I know now, which is that Asher's father was killed while riding a bicycle by a reckless driver. And I say this because too often in our city, in our politics, we lose sight of what this actually means in people's lives. We start to understand these stories as if they are purely statistics. We start to think of traffic violence as something that can be measured in numbers year after year. We forget that this inaction has forced the very New Yorkers who have felt the brunt of this violence to traumatize themselves day after